Hello, welcome to the IU Alumni Association's Emerging Alumni Leaders Spotlight Series. My name is Caitlin Scott. I'm currently a senior at IU Bloomington and a student fellow with the IU Alumni Association. Today I'm joined by Alexis Woods, a board member of the Chicago chapter of IUAA. Alexis graduated from IU Bloomington in 2019 with a degree in media advertising, and she returned to IU for her Master of Science in Healthcare Administration Management, a degree between the Kelley School of Business and the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's start off by talking about your background. Where did you grow up and what led you to decide to attend IU Bloomington?
Yeah, so I am originally born and raised in Indiana, South Bend to be more specific. So I always say it's, right on the border of Indiana and Michigan, so kind of the best of both worlds. And what led me to IU was I was actually a transfer student for undergrad. So the school that I was at, I was just kind of going through the motions, and then I got a little bit further into my degree program, and I just realized that it was too broad for what I was hoping to do with my career. So I did a little bit of research, always knew about IU, and then I found actually the media school, and then further research doing that, I found out about the semester in LA program. So I think once I found out about those two things combined, it was kind of like a no-brainer for me. And I picked up and I moved to Bloomington as a second semester junior. So I would say to any potential transfers that are watching it, it's never too late, and just really work hard and you can get those credits transferred, because I still managed to graduate in 4.5 years. So not too bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great that you were able to realize that what program you were in wasn't fulfilling your needs and then seek out
Yeah,
what you needed. Yeah.
yeah. I'm a huge media buff, so it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite memories from the media school in the classroom or with student organizations from your time at IU?
Yeah, honestly, so many. I think that probably one of my most favorite classes was with Professor Uslan, Michael Uslan. He's actually a major Hollywood producer, and he did the Dark Knight series for Batman. So it was just such a cool, immersive class. And I remember like what stuck out for me was doing the simulation where we had to pitch a business, or not a business, we had to pitch a movie. And after we did that pitch, we had to do the flip side of it and act like we were major execs at a movie studio. So it was just so cool and something I had never thought of before, especially like even as a career path. So I would say that's something that still sticks with me today. And then also, I think I met a lot of great people doing Welcome Week. So I did that for the transfer students, because transfers, honestly, they have a special place in my heart, being one. And I think we go through such a unique experience at IU. So I really wanted to be able to kind of guide them in a way, like fellow transfers that maybe transferred after me. So that led me to be able to do the committee for fee review, which is also something I had no idea about. So yeah, I had some really cool experiences at Bloomington, and of course, it wasn't in Bloomington, but because of Bloomington, I was able to go to Los Angeles. So I did do the semester in LA program. They still talk about it to this day. I'm like, one day I'm going to go back to LA, but it was just so fun and cool. And I learned a lot. And I would say I also learned a lot about myself.
Is that an internship program or were you taking classes in LA?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's a combination of both.
Okay.
So you take, I think it's about 3 classes, and you have your choice for, I believe, one of them. So you have the choice of PR or making a movie. So I did the PR class naturally. And the other fold of that was doing the internship. So I had 2 internships actually. One was with Jimmy Kimmel Live, and the other one was the Artemis Agency, which is a philanthropic consulting firm for celebrities. So I got really immersed in the entertainment business, learned a lot. Coming from Indiana, I think it's safe to say we don't know much about the business. So it was really enlightening.
That's awesome. You got to have that experience. So what was your early career journey like post graduation? And how did you arrive at your current position?
Yeah, so honestly, I graduated at a really interesting time, you know?
Yeah.
So when I graduated, it was December 2019. It was literally, I was in Los Angeles heading back. I was thinking I was going to go back. For whatever reason, I didn't. And I always say, things happen for a reason because I remember being in Los Angeles and like starting to see things about COVID, but like we didn't know what it was at that time. And then I came back and I started working at a local nonprofit in my hometown, South Bend. So I started doing that around February. Still was, trying to move maybe to even Chicago. So fun that I'm here now. And then COVID hit, within the next following weeks after that. So that's when I really kind of did a mental shift of we have no idea what is, about to happen next or what the world may look like tomorrow. So I was like, one thing that's consistent for me that just always makes sense is education. So that's what led me to my healthcare management degree because I was looking for something that would really give me like a leg up when it came to healthcare marketing because I still wanted to make sure that I was getting, marketing and communications and advertising experience. So I ended up doing that program, quit my job. That was June of 2020. And it was a year-long program, very immersive. And then at the completion of that, I worked, well, let me back up. I moved to Chicago for a job and I was a marketing associate for um, it's a medical malpractice insurance company. So very, very niche, very interesting. So ultimately, I decided to leave that in March of last year, which is crazy to think about now. And now I'm currently at Burrell Communications as an account executive. So it's more of a project management role, but still somewhat creative and still working in actually pharma. So
Mm.
yeah, I work with a pharma account. I'm not sure if I can say who, so I'll avoid
Yeah.
that. But yes, work in pharma, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah. That's great that you can combine kind of both your backgrounds in media and healthcare
Yeah,
management.
yeah, very fortunate.
Yeah. And how did you initially get involved with the IUAA chapter in Chicago? And what has inspired you to take on a leadership role?
Yeah, so honestly, it was kind of by chance. I think that, it was kind of just the perfect alignment. I was looking, just going through my emails. So I would also say anyone who just moved to Chicago, make sure you update your address because that is how you get on the list. So I had done that and I found out about Welcome to Chicago as well as they were doing a email campaign asking for volunteers, and one of them was for communication. So I have a strong background in that. So I was like, oh, perfect. I've only been here for a year. So this just it makes sense. Absolutely. And another way to get involved with IU, even, as an alumni and just being able to meet fellow Hoosiers and, make friends and make connections. So that's what led me to doing that. So reached out immediately. I was like, hi, I'm so interested. Like, this would be perfect for me. And actually, there was a board member who she was leading it all by herself at that time. And she was like, I really just, I've been here for a while. I'm ready to transition off, and I think you would be great. So it's myself and another board member that we co chaired for communications. And yeah, like I said, honestly, I just kind of stumbled into it, but I'm so happy that I did. I think that I've had a lot of leadership positions when it comes to IU. So I think that, yeah, it just kind of happened naturally. And I'm kind of like a natural leader, so I think it was just like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
And can you talk a little bit about what your role is in communications, what you do for your chapter?
Yeah, yeah. So what we do is basically all of the email campaigns, advertising, anything that, you're seeing and you're not necessarily part of the organization itself. Like, of course, you're an alum, so you're part of it, but not part of the board per se. Then any of those communications that you see, that's what myself and my co-chair are in charge of. So I specifically run the Facebook page and the Instagram page. And then we sort of trade off for emails, but we're also looking for help. So minor plug there. So just to kind of, level set that a little bit easier because, it can be a lot, not of course, in a negative way, but it can be a lot to like try and make sure that you're having a consistent voice as well. And there's a lot of fun things that we're actually trying to plan for this year. So trying to make sure that we're communicating all of that out and we have a content calendar. So yeah, it's fun. It's a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your work.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome. And finally, what advice would you give to a young IU alumni wanting to get more involved with IUAA or the Chicago chapter specifically?
Yeah, I would say first things first, like I was saying before, make sure your address is updated because I'm pretty sure that's how you get on the list. And then also make sure you like follow us on our social pages because a lot of times also if you're not getting the emails, at least you can see what's going on that way. Definitely come to the event, network, of course. And I think that that's the best way to kind of get your foot in the door, so to speak, because we're always looking for volunteers for, any of the departments that we run or at that time. So for example, professional enrichment, I know they're looking for great people right now. So yeah, just come to the events, network, talk to people. And even if you're not interested in volunteering, still come to the events because it's a great way to stay connected with IU, especially, and to stay connected to the alumni network.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alexis. I think you're a great representation of an IU alum and the IUAA Chicago chapter. And everyone tuning in, stay tuned for more Emerging Leaders Spotlights.
This video was brought to you by the IU Alumni Association. Follow the Chicago chapter of IUAA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IUAA Chicago.